What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I am here with wonderful, brilliant, awesome news regarding the Marvel Champions Living card game. We have had the next hero pack confirmed. We kind of knew who it was, but we had it confirmed, and the next big box expansion has been revealed, and I'm not exaggerating or being hyperbolic or any words along those lines when I say I have never been this excited for the Marvel Champions Living card game. And if you've been following the game on this channel, as I hope you have been, I am a very excitable dude. And I adore the Marvel Champions Living card game. It's one of my three favourite card games. I am absolutely in love. So when I tell you I have never been this excited for it, I hope that will help to really show how excited I am. Now, there were two announcements at the Fantasy Flight in-flight report. That was what happened at, what is essentially Gen Con this past day. Literally yesterday. I got to this quickly. I have excitement. And the first thing is we have confirmation of Vision as the next hero which is coming out, and the last hero in the Mad Titan Shadow cycle. That is to say, we got Mad Titan Shadow, and then we got a bunch of other packs. We'll recap them all in a little bit. And then it ends with Vision before we go into the next big box expansion, which again we'll talk about in a moment. So this essentially ends the cycle. Now, it can get kind of confusing, I completely understand. I do a release schedule on this channel every so often, but just as a quick little reminder, now we don't have confirmed release dates, so take it with a pinch of salt. But we should just have had the release of Nebula, or just coming up. I think it's like this weekend in most places. And that is your essentially September release. Which means we are assuming that War Machine is the October release. Hood is the November release. That's the first scenario pack we've had in a while. And Valkyrie is your December release. Again, these are not confirmed, but they seem highly likely. Assuming one release a month, which is a cadence Marvel Champions have tried to keep up with. Obviously, the Dan Pennick has not made that easy. And what they have stated that they want to do, assuming we do keep this one per month, then Vision will be a January release. Again, that is not confirmed. That is just connecting the dots. Now, we are given a little bit of a blurb here, and we are told, as the ultimate android, Vision come packaged with a pre-built protection deck ready to play from the moment you open the box. His gameplay revolves around his unique density manipulation mechanic, which makes him a strategic hero with some impressive durability. And then they ask us to stay tuned for an announcement in the not too distant future. Next couple of weeks was what they said on the in-flight report, so shouldn't be too long before we get a proper look at Vision. Vision, incidentally, is not why I'm the most excited I've ever been for this game. It's cool, and I love me some Vision, but it's not the be-all and end-all. Love me some Vision. Again, when these heroes are actually revealed, and we get the reveal articles, every time I think, whoa, that's a really cool new mechanic. They're going to run out of ideas soon. They're not all going to be this different and this weird and this cool. And then they release a new one, and I'm like, wow, that's a really cool new mechanic. But, they're not going to... And they keep doing it, ladies and gentlemen. They keep doing it. Now, they did show a little collage of cards on the screen. We don't have perfect information, so let's see what we can see, but please bear in mind, huge pinch of salt, we don't know everything. So it looks like Ultron is the Nemesis minion, which, again, if you follow the comics, you will know it's the only real choice. 2 scheme, 2 attack, with something else going on, but we don't know a huge amount. There is a card called Intangible that we don't actually know how much it costs, and it's something about defending and damage and attack by 2. I'm not entirely sure. There's a free cost event called Solar Beam. There is something called Mass Increase. There's a treachery called Relentless Android, which I'm assuming is from the Nemesis Minion pack. And then we've had a quick look at Vision. We got a thwart of 2, attack of 0, hit points of... I honestly can't see if that's 11 or 13. I think 13. The whole point is the whole density thing. Now, it does have density manipulation. Action... I think it's saying you can go to your density mass form by flipping your something upgrade over, limited to once per turn. And then Vision Alter Ego's got a recovery of 3, and while you're in your density mass form, you get +2 recovery, and while you are in intangible mass form, you get +1 hand size, and there is a setup that says you can put your mass form upgrade into play, intangible side face up. So it seems to be, and again, we don't have full information, this is just what we can glean from the honestly kind of not as clear as they could be pictures that we've been given. It seems to be that you start with an upgrade which can either give you intangible mass form, +1 hand size, or dense mass form, +2 recovery, and you can change your form by flipping it over once per turn in hero mode. And that, of course, is going to introduce some interesting situations, because obviously you're going to want to be in dense mass form when you go back to alter ego mode, which will actually put your recovery up to 5, which is nuts. But then, the extra hand size can be useful for either alter ego or hero mode, but we always have lower hand size in hero mode, so maybe more useful there. I think, and again, we can't see perfectly the cards, but I think that's what it is. There is a mass form upgrade that gets put into play. You can flip it over once per turn when you're in hero mode, and it either gives you +2 recovery or +1 hand size. And actually, as I'm looking at this, I aired a moment ago, because the +1 hand size is specifically on the alter ego of Vision, so you wouldn't get that +1 hand size in hero mode, because you would lose that skill when you flip to hero mode. So apologies on that one. We're working out as we go along, ladies and gentlemen. This is different and weird and cool, and I'm kind of into it. I am getting slight shades of Spectrum here, for anyone that's played the Mad Titan Shadow with the extra upgrade or support cards that can give you extra stats, but this is still extremely cool. The really exciting thing, about which we know very little, is the Sinister Motives expansion. Now, I'm sure I've mentioned this on the channel before, but let me say it now if I haven't. I love Marvel Comics. I now spend most of my money on card games, not comics, so I'm slightly behind, which is sad. But my favourite has always been Spider-Man. But I'm not talking Spider-Man, I'm talking about the whole Spider-Verse. That is Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2099, Ultimate Spider-Man, who then became Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider, all the different Spider-Men, and Spider-Ham, and it just keeps going and going and going. Well, the front of the box actually tells us what we need to know. We are expecting 5 scenarios, and we are expecting 2 heroes. That's what we get from all the big box expansions. 5 scenarios, 2 heroes. Well, the 2 heroes are blatantly Miles Morales, which is awesome. We have, of course, already seen Miles Morales in the Marvel Champions card game as an ally, but now we actually get to see Miles Morales as his own hero. I could not be more excited. There was a time when I had bought and read every single Miles Morales comic. I adore the Miles Morales comics. I am hyped, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely hyped, but potentially even more hyped for Ghost Spider or Spider-Gwen. They're calling her Ghost Spider, but to me, she will always be Spider-Gwen. Point is, it is basically alternate universe Gwen Stacy, where Peter Parker is killed and she becomes, Ghost Spider, rather than in the regular universe where Gwen Stacy is killed and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I adore this, and they do specifically mention the hero packs that follow this expansion will include a couple more Web Warriors, but also some surprises mixed in. For me, I am desperately hoping for Spider-Man 2099. That would be the dream, and Spider-Man Noir. If you could give me any 2 Spider-Men to add in, those would be the 2. But there are some other really cool ones as well. One especially cool one was weirdly created by Gerard Way, yes, the frontman from My Chemical Romance, which is a bit strange, but it's Penny Parker, who is a 14-year-old high school student who gets adopted by Aunt May and Uncle Ben, and she has a mech. How cool is that? I kind of want Penny Parker to come into the card game as well. I don't know if that's maybe a little bit too new/obscure, but I would love it. As for the villains, you might notice we've got 6 villains on the box. We know there's going to be 5 scenarios, unless they change, because Rise of the Red Skull had 5 scenarios, and Mad Titan Shadow had 5 scenarios, and Galaxy's Most Wanted had 5 scenarios. So, okay, fine, I suppose it doesn't have to have 5 scenarios, but we know it's going to have 5 scenarios. But again, if you're following Spider-Man as a whole, you will know that the classic team of enemies is the Sinister Six. And on the box, we've got classic members of the Sinister Six. We've got Dr. Octopus, and then we've got Mysterio, Kraven, Sandman, Electro, and Venom, some of whom have been minions in the card game already. And of course, let's not forget, we have had Agent Venom as an actual factual hero pack, but now we've got Venom coming as a proper villain, and that makes me very, very happy indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be cool. Obviously, there is going to be, like we've seen a couple times in the past, there is going to be an element of multiple villains in one scenario. It's the only way you get 6 villains into 5 scenarios. But the Sinister Six, the whole point was they were a team that came together to attack Spider-Man, so it only makes sense that we would see them doing that again. I am hyped, ladies and gentlemen. I am absolutely full-on, over-the-top, hyped about this. This is perfect for me, like actual full-on perfect. If you ask me what my dream scenario would be, it would be that we would have a big box with some more obscure Spider-Man characters, not just Peter Parker, along with some classic Spider-Man villains. And what we've got here is literally classic Spider-Man villains, which is the way you definitely want to go here. Love the spot, we can wait. While also having some more obscure Spider-Man, we've had Peter Parker. Peter Parker was in the cool set, and it was awesome. But the fact of the matter is, we don't need Peter Parker. We've had Peter Parker. So let's have some more obscure ones. I am so excited to see what these hero packs are. And like I say, I've been a huge redonkulous fan of the Marvel Champions card game since it came out. And I have been very, very excited since the moment I first heard about it. I believe exactly 2 years ago at that in-flight report, if I'm remembering correctly. But now things have just been taken to a whole new level, and I could not be more excited. Incidentally, the villains we've seen before are Electro and Sandman, but I am hyped to see some more. And now I get to be super excited because you know there's going to be some more hero packs that are going to have more Spider-Men in, and I could not be more excited. I hope I have adequately shown you my excitement. For now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this. I want to know how excited you are for what we've shown. I want to know how happy you are, and I want to know if there's any heroes out there that haven't been hit yet that you think it is time. So go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk Marvel Champions and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.